Captain Dae-ho Kim stood on the bridge of the Earth exploration vessel Harmony and watched the stars shift as the ship slowed from faster-than-light travel. His hands gripped the rail tightly. After 6 months in space, they had reached their destination, the meeting point with the Valorians. Final approach complete, Captain, said Sunmai, her eyes focused on the tactical display. Sunmai Park had been a soldier before joining the space program. Her short black hair and alert eyes gave away her military past. Any sign of them? Dae-ho asked. Nothing yet, sir. Dae-ho looked around the bridge at his crew. They were the best Earth had to offer. Hyunju Kang sat at the communication station, her fingers moving quickly over the controls as she listened for signals. At the science station, Jae-woo Lee studied the readings from the ship's sensors, his face tight with concentration. Captain, Jae-woo called suddenly. I'm detecting something big. Very big. The main screen flickered, and then they all saw it. A ship that made the Harmony look like a toy. The alien vessel was smooth and silver, shaped like a leaf, with no visible engines or weapons. It's beautiful, whispered Hyunju. And at least 20 times our size, added Sunmai, her hand moving to rest near her sidearm. The communication system came alive with a soft tone. Captain, we're receiving a transmission, said Hyunju. They're speaking English. Put it through, ordered Dae-ho. A voice filled the bridge. It sounded almost human, but with a musical quality that no human voice possessed. Greetings, travelers from Earth. I am Ambassador Threll of the Valorian Diplomatic Corps. On behalf of the Galactic Confederation, I welcome you to the stars. Dae-ho stepped forward. This is Captain Dae-ho Kim of the Earth exploration vessel Harmony. We come in peace and friendship. We have awaited this moment for many cycles, Captain. Your species has been observed since you first sent radio signals into space. We believe humans will make a valuable addition to our confederation. Dae-ho exchanged glances with Sunmai, whose eyes narrowed slightly. Being watched without their knowledge was not a comfortable thought. We're honored by your interest in Earth, Dae-ho said carefully. We look forward to learning more about the Confederation. Excellent. Please prepare for docking. We will guide your vessel into our ship, where we can meet face to face. When the transmission ended, Dae-ho called his senior officers together. I don't like this, Sunmai said immediately. They've been watching us. For how long? And why did they wait until now to contact us? Maybe they have rules about when to approach developing civilizations, suggested Jae-woo. The important thing is what we can learn from them. Think of the scientific advances. Hyunju looked thoughtful. I'm curious about how they learned English so perfectly. And what did they mean by valuable addition? Dae-ho nodded. All good questions. We need to stay alert. This is everything humanity has dreamed of. Contact with an advanced, seemingly peaceful civilization. But we can't be naive. Sir, said Sunma, I recommend we keep our defensive systems on standby. Agreed. But no aggressive posture. We're diplomats first. Dae-ho straightened his uniform. Let's make Earth proud. As the Harmony was pulled gently into the massive alien vessel, Dae-ho couldn't shake a feeling of unease. The Valorians seemed friendly enough, but their interest in humans' unique biological attributes, mentioned briefly in earlier messages, struck him as odd. The ship shuddered slightly as docking clamps engage. Well, said Dae-ho, looking at his crew, humanity's greatest adventure begins now. Little did he know that this adventure would soon become humanity's greatest fight for survival. A fight they never wanted, but would bring to the stars anyway. The doors of the Harmony opened with a soft hiss. Captain Dae-ho led his team onto the Valorian ship, where Ambassador Threll waited for them. Threll was tall and slender, with pale blue skin that seemed to glow slightly. His forearms were folded in what looked like a greeting pose. When he smiled, his teeth were perfect and white. Captain Kim, welcome aboard the Celestial Light said Threll. We will travel to Confederation headquarters now. It will take 3 days at our speed. Daho felt the subtle shift as the massive ship began to move. That's remarkably fast, he said. Our journey from Earth took 6 months. Threll's smile widened. Yes, your technology is developing. The Confederation will help Earth advance quickly. Sunma stepped closer to Daho, her posture stiff. Hyunju was busy recording everything with wide eyes, while Jae-woo examined the ship's interior with obvious excitement. Allow me to show you to your quarters, Threll said, leading them down a long hallway where other aliens walked or floated. Tomorrow, I will give you a tour. Their rooms were comfortable but plain. That night, the crew gathered in Daho's quarters to share their thoughts. There are at least 7 different species I've counted so far, said Jae-woo. Can you imagine what we can learn from them? Did you notice how they all move aside when Valorians walk by? Sunma asked. And some of them look afraid. Hyunju nodded. I've been watching their body language. The smaller green ones, I think Threll called them Mardies. They tremble when Valorians are near. Daho frowned. Let's keep our eyes open. Remember, we represent all of Earth here. 3 days later, they arrived at the headquarters of the Galactic Confederation, a massive space station that curved like a giant ring around a small blue sun. This is incredible, said Jae-woo as they docked. The engineering alone must be thousands of years beyond ours. Ambassador Threll led them onto the station where a reception waited. Aliens of all shapes and sizes stood in groups, watching the humans with a mixture of curiosity and something that looked like concern. Distinguished representatives, Threll announced loudly, I present the delegation from Earth, the newest world to join our confederation. Daho stepped forward quickly. We are honored to be here, but Earth has not yet joined the confederation. We are here to learn and discuss possibilities. Threll's smile didn't change, but something in his eyes hardened. Of course, Captain. A mere formality. As they moved through the reception, Hyunju noticed how the various species seemed to group together, with Valorians always at the center of each group. None of the other species formed groups without Valorians present. Sunmai was sampling some food when a short reptilian alien approached her. He had scales that shifted color and large, blinking eyes. You are from Earth? He asked in a whisper. Yes, I'm Sunmai Park, tactical officer. The reptilian alien looked around nervously. I am Skaz, from the Drawl system. Listen carefully. The Valorians did not tell you everything. They have plans for your people. Sunmai's hand moved to her communicator. What plans? They didn't tell you why they really want humans, did they? Skaz whispered. Your species has something the rest of us. Ah, I see you've met our Dralian friend, said Threll, suddenly appearing beside them. Come, Officer Park. The Grand Council is waiting to meet you all. As Threll led her away, Sunmai looked back. Skaz was being spoken to by 2 tall Valorians, his scales now pale with what looked like fear. Later, in a grand hall with a view of the blue sun, the humans stood before representatives of all 12 species of the Confederation. Daho couldn't help noticing that all the seats of power were held by Valorians. Tomorrow, Threll announced, we will begin discussing Earth's contribution to our shared defense needs. Defense against what? Asked Daho. Threll's smile remained fixed. Every paradise needs protection, Captain Kim. You will understand soon enough. While Captain Daho and most of the crew attended endless meetings and dinners, Jae-woo spent his time in the medical labs. The Valorians had invited him to share information about human biology. At first, he was excited to learn about alien life forms too. But something strange was happening. Please hold still, said the Valorian doctor, scanning Jae-woo's head again. Fascinating. That's the 3rd brain scan today, Jae-woo said. Is there something specific you're looking for? The doctor smiled the same perfect smile all Valorians seem to have. We are simply curious about human neural patterns. They are unique. Jae-woo had noticed that the Valorians only wanted to give information, not receive it. They had tested his reflexes, his endurance, and his stress responses repeatedly. In another part of the station, Sun-mi pretended to be lost. She turned down a quiet hallway where few aliens walked. Skaz had passed her a message during breakfast. Meet me at level 7. Section D, come alone. She found the reptilian alien waiting in a small maintenance room. We must be quick, Skaz said, his scales shifting from green to blue. The Valorians watch everyone. What did you mean yesterday about their plans for humans? Sun-mi asked. Skaz's eyes blinked rapidly. The Confederation is not what it seems. It is not a peaceful alliance. We are all servants, providing what the Valorians need. Servants? You don't look like slaves. Not slaves. We provide. Tribute. Skaz looked around nervously. The Valorians protect us from the Drax Empire. In return, each world gives what the Valorians demand. Who are the Drax? The monsters beyond the outer systems. They destroy any world that doesn't join them. The Valorians keep them away, for a price. Skaz moved closer. But the Drax grow stronger. The Valorians need better soldiers. They believe humans are perfect for fighting. Sun-mi's eyes widened. That's why they're so interested in us. They want human soldiers. Your bodies can handle stress in ways ours cannot. You heal quickly. You can run for hours. None of our species can do these things. Skaz's scales darkened. The Valorians will ask for thousands of humans every year. Those who refuse will be left to face the Drax alone. That evening, Daho gathered his crew in their quarters. Jae-woo and Sun-mi shared what they had learned. The medical tests confirm it, said Jae-woo. Every species in the Confederation lacks certain abilities we take for granted. Their muscles tire quickly. Their stress hormones damage their bodies. And Skaz told me the Drax Empire threatens the Confederation, added Sun-mi. The Valorians think humans would make good fighters against them. Hyunju, who had been quiet, spoke up. I've been decoding their transmissions. My translator picked up messages about human specimens and combat potential. There's something else. The Drax are planning an attack in 3 days on an outpost called Nebula 7. Daho looked at each of his crew members. We need to know more before we contact Earth. Tomorrow, Threll is taking us to the Grand Council for what he calls final discussions. I expect we'll learn the truth then. The next morning, Ambassador Threll led them to a large chamber where representatives from all species waited. The room fell silent as the humans entered. Captain Kim, said Threll, standing at a tall podium. The time has come to discuss Earth's contribution to the Confederation. We're eager to establish trade and cultural exchange, Daho replied carefully. Threll's smile vanished. Earth will provide 10,000 human peacekeepers annually. You will be trained and equipped to serve on the borders of Drax territory. The room was completely silent. Daho felt cold anger rising within him. And if we refuse, then Earth will receive no protection, no technology, and no trade routes. You will be alone when the Drax find you. Threll's voice hardened. And they will find you, Captain. Daho stood tall. Humans don't send their people to fight others' wars, Ambassador. Earth will make its own decisions. Threll pressed a button on the podium. The doors slid shut with a heavy thud. I'm afraid, said Threll. You no longer have a choice. This is outrageous, said Daho, looking at the sealed doors. You can't hold us prisoner. Threll stepped down from the podium. The other alien representatives watched silently, their eyes showing a mix of pity and fear. Not prisoners, Captain Kim. Think of yourselves as honored guests who cannot leave. Threll waved his 4 arms in a gesture that might have been meant to calm them. Your ship is already locked down. You have 2 days to reconsider Earth's position. Sun-mi moved closer to Daho. And if we still refuse, then we will study you more thoroughly to understand human capabilities. That information will help us prepare when we visit Earth ourselves. Threll's smile returned. One way or another, humans will join our defense force. Guards led the crew back to their rooms, which now had locks on the outside. Once alone, they gathered in Daho's quarters, which Jae-woo quickly checked for listening devices. "We're clean," he said. "For now." Daho looked at his team. "Options. We need to get back to the Harmony *, said Sunma. "If we can reach our ship, we might have a chance to escape and warn Earth." Hyunju sat cross-legged on the floor, her small communication device in her hands. "I've been monitoring their internal messages. The security codes change every 6 hours. The next change happens at what would be midnight on Earth time. Even if we get to the ship, we'd need to get past their docking clamps and defense systems," Jae-woo pointed out. Daho nodded. "One problem at a time. First, we need allies." "Skaz might help," suggested Sunmei. "He took a big risk warning me." "See if you can contact him," said Daho. "Hyunju, keep working on those security codes. Jae-woo, download everything you can about Confederation and Drax technologies from the medical database. We'll need every advantage." That night, as the station's lights dimmed to simulate evening, Sun Li managed to send a message to Skaz using a technique Hyunju had shown her. To their surprise, the reptilian alien appeared at their door an hour later, accompanied by 2 other aliens, a small furry being with 6 eyes and a tall, thin creature with gills. "These are friends," Skaz explained as Daho let them in. "Mick of the Tulari and Ven of the Aquari. They also wish to help." "Why would you risk yourselves for us?" Daho asked. Ven's gills fluttered. "Because we are tired of living in fear. The Valorians promise protection, but take more than they give. The Drax are terrible, yes, but the Valorians use this fear to control us." Mick's fur rippled. "They will use your people too. We have heard about humans. You are different. Maybe you can fight back." "We need to escape," said Sunma. "Get to our ship." Skaz nodded. "We can guide you through the maintenance tunnels, but the ship will be heavily guarded." While they made plans, Hyunju continued working on her device. Suddenly, she gasped. "Captain, I've decoded more transmissions. The Drax attack on Nebula 7 outpost is happening tomorrow, not in 3 days. The Valorians know but haven't told the outpost. They're using it as a test." "A test of what?" asked Daho. "The outpost has a new defense system. The Valorians want to see how it performs against a real Drax attack. There are 10,000 civilians on that outpost." The room fell silent. Then Daho stood up, his face set with determination. "Our plans have changed. We're still escaping, but we're not going home yet." He looked at each person in the room. "We're going to Nebula 7. "That's suicide," said Mick, fur standing on end. "No," said Daho. "It's the right thing to do. And it will show us what we're really up against." Skaz's scales turned a deep blue. "The maintenance tunnels on level 3 will get you past the main security. We can create a distraction at the docking bay." Daho nodded. "Tomorrow, when the station is busiest, we move. The Valorians think humans will make good soldiers. Well, they're about to learn that we make terrible enemies." The station's central hub buzzed with activity as delegates from all 12 species moved about their daily business. In the human quarters, Captain Daho checked his makeshift weapon, a metal rod taken from one of the room's fixtures. "Everyone ready?" he asked. Sun Li nodded, her face calm despite the danger. Jae-woo clutched a small device with the downloaded Confederation data. Hyunju had her communications unit ready. "Skaz says the distraction will happen in 3 minutes," said Sunmei. "When the alarms sound, the maintenance door behind the food dispenser will unlock." Daho looked at his crew. "Once we start, we can't turn back. If anyone is captured, the rest keep going. The Harmony and Earth's safety come first." They waited in tense silence. Then, right on time, alarms blared throughout the station. Red lights flashed in the corridors. That's our signal, said Daho. Sunmi pushed the food dispenser aside, revealing a small door that slid open at her touch. One by one, they crawled into a narrow tunnel filled with pipes and wires. This way, Sunmi whispered, taking the lead. Skaz said to follow the blue pipes to section G7. They crawled for what seemed like hours, but was only about 20 minutes. The tunnel was hot and tight. Twice they had to stop and hide as maintenance workers passed by side tunnels. Finally, they reached a larger junction where they could stand. Then the equerry was waiting for them, his gills fluttering with anxiety. Hurry, he said. The Valorians know you are missing. They have guards at all main corridors. What was the distraction? Asked Hyunju. Mick released some harmless gas in the council chambers. It made everyone's skin itch. Ven's mouth formed what might have been a smile. Very undignified for the Valorians. Ven led them through more tunnels, eventually stopping at a small hatch. This opens into the secondary docking area. Your ship is 3 bays down. Skaz is waiting there. Thank you, said Daho, gripping Ven's thin arm. We won't forget this. Just remember your promise to return. Many of us have new hope because of you humans. When they opened the hatch, they found themselves in a dimly lit maintenance corridor. They moved quietly toward the docking bays, ducking behind cargo containers whenever footsteps approached. At Bay 12, they found the Harmony and 6 Valorian guards. Now what? Whispered Jae-woo. They heard a crash from the far end of the docking area. The guards turned toward the noise, and 4 of them ran to investigate. Still 2 left, said Sunmi. I can handle them. Before Daho could stop her, Sunmi darted out from their hiding place. The first guard didn't see her coming. She struck him hard at the base of his neck, and he dropped without a sound. The second guard turned, but Sunmi was faster. She ducked under his weapon and swept his legs out from under him. A quick blow to his head, and he went limp. Hurry, she called. They ran to the ship. Skaz appeared from behind a fuel container, his scales a nervous yellow color. The docking clamps are still engaged, he said. I cannot release them from here. Jae-woo studied the control panel. I can override them, but it will take a few minutes. We don't have minutes, said Daho as alarms began to sound in the docking bay. Skaz, get to safety. We'll handle this. While Jae-woo worked on the clamps, Daho and Sunmi took the guards' weapons and positioned themselves to defend the ship. Hyunju helped Jae-woo, her fingers flying over the control panel. Almost there, said Jae-woo. Just one more. The main doors to the bay slid open. Ambassador Threll stood there with a dozen armed guards. This is disappointing, Captain Kim, he called. You could have been honored allies. We don't ally with those who threaten us, Daho replied, raising his weapon. Threll sighed. Such a waste of good fighting stock. Before he could give the order to fire, the ship's engines roared to life. The docking clamps released with a loud clang. Now, shouted Daho. They ran up the ramp as Valorian weapons fired around them. The ship's door closed just as they made it inside. Moments later, the Harmony broke free from the station and accelerated away. Setting course for Nebula 7, said Daho, taking his captain's chair. Let's see what the Dracs are really like. The Harmony dropped out of faster-than-light travel near Nebula 7. The small outpost hung in space like a tiny star, surrounded by a cloud of purple gas. Scan for Drac ships, ordered Daho. Hyunju's fingers moved across her console. Nothing yet, Captain. But there's a lot of communication traffic from the outpost. They're scared. Can we talk to them? Daho asked. I don't think we should, said Sunmi. If we alert them to our presence, the Valorians might find out we're here. Jae-woo looked up from his station. She's right. Let's stay hidden behind the moon of that gas giant. We can watch from there. Daho nodded. The Harmony moved silently to the dark side of a large moon. From there, they had a clear view of the outpost, but couldn't be easily detected. They didn't have to wait long. "Captain," called Hyunju. Multiple ships dropping out of light speed. The view screen showed 5 large vessels appearing near the outpost. They were unlike anything the humans had seen before, black and red, with shapes that hurt the eyes to look at directly. "The Dracs," whispered Daho. "They're uglier than I expected," said Jaewoo. The Drac ships surrounded the outpost. A brief exchange of fire followed, but the outpost's defenses quickly failed. "The new defense system didn't work," said Sunmei. "It didn't even slow them down." They watched in silence as smaller Drac ships landed on the outpost. An hour later, these ships returned to the main vessels, carrying what looked like containers. "They're taking people," said Hyunju, her voice tight with anger. "I'm picking up transmissions. They're calling them tribute." Daho gripped the arms of his chair. "Are all the ships loaded?" "Not yet," said Hyunju. "One small shuttle just left the outpost. It's trying to escape. There are life signs aboard. Many of them." As they watched, a Drax patrol ship turned to pursue the shuttle. "They're going to catch it," said Sunmei. Daho stood up. "Not if we can help it." "Battle stations." The crew looked at him in shock. "Captain," Sunmei questioned, "we're not armed for combat against ships like that. We're not going to fight their warship. We're going to save that shuttle." Daho's voice was firm. "Hyunju, plot an intercept course. Jaewoo, prepare the cargo bay. We're going to bring them aboard." The Harmony powered up and raced from behind the moon. The Drax patrol ship, focused on the shuttle, didn't notice them until they were close. "They've seen us," reported Sunmei. "They're turning to intercept." "Stay on course," ordered Daho. "Hyunju, open a channel to the shuttle." Hyunju worked her controls. Channel open. "This is Captain Kim of the Earth vessel Harmony. We're here to help. Head for our cargo bay." A frightened voice answered. "Thank you. Our engines are failing. We have children aboard." The Drax ship fired, and the Harmony shook. "Shields holding," said Jaewoo. "Barely." The shuttle limped toward them as the Drax ship fired again. This time, a panel exploded on the bridge. "We can't take another hit like that," said Sunmei. The shuttle finally reached them, sliding into the cargo bay just as the Drax ship moved to block their escape. "They're launching boarding pods," Hyunju reported. 3 of them, heading for our lower deck. Daho turned to Sunmei. "Take a team and stop them. We can't let them reach the refugees." Sunmei nodded and ran from the bridge. She gathered Jaewoo and 2 crew members who had been waiting in the mess hall. They armed themselves with the weapons taken from the Valorian guards. The first Drax boarding pod cut through the hull of Deck 3. 4 tall, heavily armored figures stepped out. They had gray skin and red eyes. Their movements were quick but jerky, as if they were in pain. "Stop there," shouted Sunmei, raising her weapon. The Drax soldiers raised their own strange guns and fired. Sunmei and her team ducked behind a corridor junction. When the firing stopped, Sunmei signaled to the others. They charged the Drax soldiers, moving faster than the aliens expected. The fight was short but fierce. To everyone's surprise, the Drax soldiers tired quickly. Their movements became slower, their breathing labored. Sunmei knocked one down with a kick to its knees. Jaewoo managed to disarm another. Within minutes, all 4 Drax soldiers lay unconscious or disabled on the deck. "That was easier than I expected," said Jaewoo, breathing hard but otherwise fine. Sunmei stared at the fallen aliens. "They're strong but have no endurance," just like Skaz said about the other species. On the bridge, Daho watched as the Drax ship, now missing its boarding parties, hesitated. "Get us out of here," he ordered. "Maximum speed." The Harmony turned and accelerated away from Nebula 7, carrying its human crew, the rescued refugees, and the first proof that humans could indeed fight the Dracs and win. With the Drac ship no longer following them, the Harmony slowed to a safer speed. Captain Daho went down to the cargo bay to meet the refugees they had rescued. There were 23 of them, mostly Martis, the small green aliens they had seen on the Confederation station, and 7 children of various species. Their leader was a tall Aquari female named Len. "You saved us when no one else would," she said, her gills fluttering with emotion. "The Valorians knew the attack was coming but told us nothing. We learned about it by accident," said Daho. "I'm sorry we couldn't save more people." Len looked at the human crew with wonder. "You fought the Dracs and won. No one does that." Sun Mi stepped forward. "They weren't as strong as we expected. They tired quickly." "Yes," said Len. "All species in this part of the galaxy evolved on worlds with high gravity but low oxygen. We have strength for short bursts, but we tire easily. The Dracs are the same." Jaewoo's eyes lit up with understanding. "That's why the Valorians are so interested in humans. Earth has lower gravity but higher oxygen. We evolved for endurance, not just strength." Daho gathered his crew and the refugees in the ship's mess hall. They needed to plan their next steps. "We can't go back to Earth yet," he said. "The Valorians would follow us, and we can't return to the Confederation station." "What about the Drax prisoner?" asked Hyunju. "The one we captured." In the medical bay, the least injured Drax soldier was secured to a bed. Jaewoo had treated his wounds and run several tests. "His biology confirms what Len said," Jaewoo reported. "The Dracs have powerful muscles but poor endurance. Their bodies produce too much acid when they exert themselves. After about 5 minutes of fighting, they need to rest." One of the refugee children, a small furry creature named Pip, spoke up. "My father said the Dracs always attack in waves. When one group gets tired, another takes over." Daho nodded thoughtfully. "So their strategy depends on overwhelming their enemies quickly." "Exactly," said Len. "And their ships are the same. They look fearsome, but they rely on fear more than actual power. They can't fight long battles." Sun Mi, who had been quiet, suddenly smiled. "Then we have an advantage. Humans are built for persistence. On Earth, ancient humans used to hunt by chasing animals until they collapsed from exhaustion. We call it persistence hunting," explained Jaewoo. "Our bodies can cool efficiently through sweating, and we can maintain activity for hours." Hyunju, who had been working at a terminal, called for attention. "I've analyzed the data we downloaded from the Confederation. The Drax Empire controls 30 star systems, but they're spread thin. Their ships need frequent maintenance." Daho looked around the room at the humans and aliens working together. An idea was forming in his mind. "What if we gather more allies?" he asked. "People like Skaz, Ven, and Mick, those who want to fight back. We could share what we've learned about the Drax weaknesses." A resistance movement. Sun Mi's eyes gleamed with excitement. "More than that," said Daho. "A new alliance, not one based on fear like the Confederation, but on mutual respect and cooperation." Len stood taller. "Many worlds would join you. We've lived in fear too long, first of the Dracs, then of the Valorians." "It won't be easy," warned Daho. "The Valorians won't let us just travel around gathering allies." "We don't need to visit every world," said Hyunju. "I can send encrypted messages through the Confederation network. If we show even one successful defense against the Dracs, others will gain courage." "Then that's what we'll do," Daho decided. "First, we find a safe place for these refugees. Then we show the galaxy that the Dracs can be beaten." Sun Mi picked up one of the Dracs weapons they had captured. "The Valorians wanted human soldiers because of our endurance. They'll get their wish, but not the way they planned." As the Harmony traveled through space, the crew began training the refugees in human fighting techniques. The differences in their biology meant they had to develop new methods that played to each species' strengths. For the first time in generations, the people of the Confederation had hope, and it came from a species that didn't want to fight, but was more than ready to bring one when necessary. Over the next 2 weeks, the Harmony visited 3 different worlds on the edges of Confederation space. Each time, they met in secret with those who wanted to fight back against both the Dracs and the Valorians. On the ocean world of HFY, Len introduced them to her people's resistance leaders. In underwater meeting halls, Daho explained how humans had fought off the Dracs' borders. It's not about being stronger, he told the gathering of gill-faced aliens. It's about fighting smarter and using your natural advantages. The HFY were excellent swimmers who could hold their breath for almost an hour. Use water to your advantage, Sunmei advised them. The Dracs hate water. Their armor doesn't work well when wet. On the rocky planet Drawl, Skaz had gathered 30 of his people in a cave system. The reptilian aliens listened carefully as Jae-woo explained the science behind the Dracs' weakness. Your ability to change color isn't just for show, he told them. You can hide in plain sight. The Dracs can't fight what they can't see. Sunmei taught them guerrilla tactics, how to strike quickly and then disappear before the Dracs could organize a response. By the time they reached the forest moon of Tulare, home to the furry, 6-eyed Mick and his people, word had spread through Hyunju's encrypted messages. 100 Tulare waited to meet them. The Valorians told us we were too small and weak to fight, said the Tulare leader. But you humans are not much bigger than us. Size isn't everything, Sunmei said. Your people can move through trees faster than anyone. You can drop from above when the Dracs least expect it. While Sunmei trained volunteers, Jae-woo worked with alien scientists to develop weapons that would work with each species' natural abilities. Hyunju maintained a growing network of communication between resistance cells. Captain Daho found himself becoming a symbol of hope. At each meeting, more aliens joined their cause, not because Earth had superior ships or technology, but because humans brought something the others had lost, the belief that they could win. One night, as the Harmony orbited Tulare, Daho found Sunmei on the observation deck, looking at the stars. Do you think we're doing the right thing? He asked her. We came out here to make peaceful contact, not start a revolution. Sunmei turned to him. We didn't start this, Captain. The Valorians and the Dracs did. We're just helping people stand up for themselves. And what about Earth? We should warn them about what's out here. We will, she said. But if we go back now, Earth will face this alone. If we build a real alliance first, we'll all be stronger. Their conversation was interrupted when Hyunju's voice came over the ship's system. Captain to the bridge. We're receiving a priority message. When Daho reached the bridge, he found his crew gathered around the communication station. It's from Skaz, said Hyunju. The Confederation station is in chaos. 7 more worlds have declared themselves independent after hearing about our victories. The Valorians are furious. And the Dracs? Asked Daho. That's the problem. They're gathering a battle fleet. Skaz thinks they're planning to attack Earth directly. They want to make an example of us. The bridge fell silent. Then Jae-woo spoke up. How long do we have? 3 weeks, maybe less, said Hyunju. Daho looked at each member of his crew. Then he straightened his uniform and made the most important decision of his life. Set course for Earth, he ordered. Maximum speed. Sunmei looked concerned. Just us. What about our allies? Daho smiled. Send word to everyone we've met. Tell them if they want to be part of a real alliance, one based on freedom and mutual defense, to follow us to Earth. It's time we introduced the Dracs to what humans are really capable of when we fight together. As the Harmony prepared to jump to faster-than-light speed, messages came in from across the sector. HFY ships, Drawl fighters, and Tulare scouts, all answering the call. The revolution they had sparked was becoming an armada, and it was heading to Earth, not as invaders or conscripts, but as allies ready to make their stand together. The Harmony arrived at Earth with only days to spare. Captain Daho's message to Earth's leaders was simple and urgent. A hostile alien force was coming, and they needed to prepare. At first, many didn't believe him, but when 7 alien ships appeared in Earth's orbit, Aquari, Drawl, Tulari, and others, the truth became impossible to ignore. "We don't come as invaders," Daho explained to the emergency meeting of world leaders. "These are allies who have suffered under the Drax Empire. They're here to help us fight." Sunme presented the battle plan they had developed. The Drax expect to find a helpless planet. Instead, they'll find a united front. Jae-woo shared his findings about Drax biology and technology. They rely on fear and quick victories. If we can outlast their first attacks, they become vulnerable. Earth's military leaders were skeptical until Len of the Aquari stepped forward. "My world was conquered by the Drax 30 years ago. We have lived as slaves until now. The humans gave us hope when no one else would." In just 5 days, Earth prepared as best it could. The alien ships took positions around the planet alongside Earth's own defensive satellites. Hyunju worked with communication teams to ensure everyone could coordinate during the battle. "They're coming," she announced one morning. Multiple ships dropping out of faster-than-light travel. The Drax fleet was massive. 30 warships arranged in attack formation. Their black and red hulls seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. "Attention, Earth vessel," came the harsh voice of the Drax commander. "Surrender your planet or face destruction. You have 1 hour to decide." Daho stood on the bridge of the Harmony, which now served as the command center for their allied fleet. He looked at the faces around him, human and alien alike, all waiting for his response. "We're not surrendering," he said simply, "and we're not waiting for their attack either." He turned to Sunma. "Signal all ships. We're bringing the fight to them." The Allied fleet moved forward, surprising the Drax. The battle began with a fury as Drax ships fired their powerful weapons. Several Allied ships were hit, but they didn't retreat. "Now," ordered Daho. From Earth's surface, hundreds of small fighters launched, a mix of Earth jets and hastily adapted craft piloted by Drawl and Tulari. They swarmed the Drax ships like insects, too small and fast to target effectively. The Aquari ships released special torpedoes that covered Drax vessels in a sticky substance that blocked their sensors. The Drax fired blindly while the small fighters targeted their engines. Hour after hour, the battle raged. As Jae-woo had predicted, the Drax expected a quick victory. When that didn't happen, they began to falter. "They're breaking formation," reported Sunma, "just like we planned." The Drax ships tried to regroup, but the Allied forces had studied their patterns. Each time the Drax adjusted, the Allies were already responding. "This is impossible." The Drax commander's voice boomed across the communication channels. "How can you still be fighting?" "Because we're not fighting alone," Daho replied. "And we don't give up easily." The battle lasted 18 hours. 18 hours of continuous combat that the Drax had never experienced before. Their crews were exhausted, their coordination failing. Finally, the Drax flagship turned away. One by one, other Drax ships followed, jumping back to faster-than-light speed. "They're retreating," said Hyunju in amazement. Cheers erupted on the Harmony's bridge and across the Allied fleet. On Earth, people came out of shelters to see the remains of the battle lighting up the night sky. 6 months after that first meeting with Ambassador Thrill, Daho stood in the United Nations building, watching representatives from Earth sign a formal alliance with 7 formerly Confederation worlds. The Valorians thought they could use humans as disposable soldiers, Skaz said as he stood beside Daho. "They never understood what makes humans special." "And what's that?" asked Daho. "You don't just fight. You inspire others to fight alongside you." Sun Mi joined them, now wearing the uniform of the new Alliance fleet. The Drax Empire is already falling apart. 3 more systems have declared independence. Deho looked out at the gathering of humans and aliens working together, not out of fear, but out of hope for a better future. "We never wanted a fight," he said quietly. "But when it came to us, we brought something better than just soldiers. We brought allies."